Captain's Log Supplemental. I'm not even 100% sure why I'm making this entry. There's nothing to report. And I think that, in a way, that itself is kind of noteworthy. But I've got nothing. The afternoon's just been pleasant. All of my jobs have been going perfectly fine. My first officer even got the roll report in on time without any kind of hiccups. Man, space is boring when nothing goes wrong.
Welcome, everybody, to Captain's Log Supplemental. For those of you joining us for the first time, we are a Star Trek rewatch podcast. We are going chronologically through all of Star Trek. We're currently cruising through Enterprise, almost at the end. But, as always, I am joined by my friends, Stanford.
Hi.
Mariah.
Hi there.
Rob.
Hello.
It felt like a question.
Rob?
Rob?
Roberson?
Raub.
Kingsley?
Just to throw this out there now, we are still relatively new, so please rate, comment, subscribe, do all those interactive things that helps us spread to more people, and of course tell your friends who may be interested in some Star Trek. And as always, we are 5-star people, so 5 stars.
He's Chris, by the way.
No.
Oh, not
Cristobal.
this week? Cristobal. Jesus
Cristobal.
Christ.
That was my Spanish name in Spanish class in high school.
Mine was Raphael because I was told to pick any name from the list, so... My first name is not...
Bet you can guess what mine was.
Was it Maria?
Yeah.
Wait, did you take Spanish?
Yes, I did in high school.
I didn't know that.
2 years, Senora Haggy.
That's an unfortunate name.
That is really bad. And it's Kentucky Spanish, so I'm assuming it was terrible.
Yeah, she was not Hispanic.
Oh, man.
I don't remember our Spanish teacher's name.
I don't remember. Well, no, I don't remember my Spanish teacher's names either. I was in D.C. when I learned Spanish in high school, so, they were actually, Hispanic women.
Oh, no, yeah.
So I don't remember the actual names of our French teachers in high school, but I remember their nicknames that the students gave them. The tall, gray-haired one that spoke very slowly, everybody called Treebeard because Lord of the Rings had just come out.
That is the dorkiest shit I've ever... What the fuck high school did you go to you motherfuckers were calling someone a Lord of the Rings name?
And then the short, rotund, and very bitter brunette was named the Penguin.
Sure. I do recall
sense.
that. I didn't take French, and I remember people calling her the Penguin.
How did y'all not say it in French, though? At least try.
How do you say the penguin in French?
La Penguin? I don't know.
La Penguin? I don't know.
All right, now I gotta look it up.
No, what is penguin in French?
I know what it is in Japanese because of verb. Pengu.
Manshot? I don't know how to say that with a French accent. Manshot.
You gotta go ho 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 first.
Wait, hold on. Manchot.
Ho ho ho, monchon.
Well, that's the feminine. Manchon if it's masculine.
Le monchon.
That means many penguins.
I didn't take French. I don't know how French works.
So, le is the masculine singular. La is the feminine singular, and then le is the
Plural.
Plural conjugation, or whatever you call it.
Grammar.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I took German in college, so I was like, I wonder what penguin is in German. And it's der Penguin.
Amazing.
But it's okay. Das Übungsflugzeug.
Das Übungsflugzeug.
Übungsflugzeug.
You know, that is weirdly on point for this week's episode of Enterprise.
That is weirdly on point.
Oh my god.
Sind Sie Amerikaner? I know that.
Ich liebe dich, honey.
All right. Well, did you have something else you wanted to mention?
You know, like this kind of filled the time. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
think
do.
it's good.
Like,
I
I've
think
got a
it's
whole
good.
story about conflict and religion, but I can
we'll
save it for
that.
another week.
We'll
All right.
save that.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that being said, let's get into it. All right. So this week's episode was episode 1 of season 4, Stormfront, part 1.
This episode starts off with a real low score from me because the recap was unskippable.
Yeah, it was. There was no skip button. I was sad.
Yeah, but the good news is they added the Archer slow-mo jog into the recap.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
So as we said, they start the episode with a recap of kind of how the last season ended and where we started here. We pick up back up with the shuttle being assaulted by P-51s flying over San Francisco.
Fucking Travis is like, I've seen him at air shows. Like,
Which,
Yeah.
by
they're
the
gonna
way,
be like 300 years old by then, right? Like,
fun fact with Chris.
no, it's a fun fact with Chris.
Of the more than 15,000 P-51s manufactured, mostly in the 1940s, by 2019, only 175 were still flyable. Yet, in 2154, 135 years later, apparently they are still common enough to appear in air shows. This means they would have had to survive the eugenics wars and World War III, in addition to 200 years of deterioration, and still be flyable.
Okay,
Also,
okay, sorry.
Travis spent his childhood in space.
Hey,
Where
yeah,
is he
wait a
seeing
minute.
air shows?
But like,
This is
That's
one of his classic pranks.
oh, it's a prank. It's a prank. No, because I also was like, are air shows still a thing? Like, to us, airplanes are still pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we got air shows everywhere. I would feel like by the time spaceships and shit are doing their thing, like, air shows are very uncommon. And not only had Travis seen one at an air show, he specifically says, I've seen them at air shows.
Right.
Which
Where is he
means
getting all this time to see air shows on Earth?
more
What's
than
happening?
one, yeah.
I mean, don't forget they're now in a well, I guess they're not fully in it, but they will very nearly be in a post-scarcity society. Maybe like flying around antique aircraft is like the antique car show of today.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, but like, you realize that antique car shows, like, do you know how many Model Ts were made? And there are only like a couple hundred left today?
So anyway, the flak starts up and it's time to skedaddle.
I believe that was actually artillery. Wow,
Like
sorry.
flak.
Sorry, did I just get too pedantic? I apologize.
I mean, yes, absolutely you did. But what tells you that it was different?
Because they were getting hit by explosions and not by a bunch of like,
Shrapnel?
yeah.
Okay.
Like
Fair.
you'd have
Maybe
heard
they were just poor animators and they
well,
didn't know what they were
like
doing.
like you heard it thump against the hull. If it was flak, you'd have heard like it would have sounded like someone throwing a bunch of gravel at the hull.
Travis did mention though that like the injector got jammed. That made me think it was flak.
That's true. Point 1 non-pedantery.
Yeah.
So after that, we cut to a Nazi convoy where Archer's face burns have magically healed, mostly. Because when he got taken into that medical tent, his face was all fucked up. But he's mostly fine now. He's having a nice chat with a Nazi officer guy who is very all about American movies.
I feel like everybody in Hollywood wants to play like the pompous Nazi. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
this character exists so many times. And
It really does.
oh, do you have this fun fact, Chris?
Go ahead.
This character,
Wait. Fun facts with Stafford.
this actor also played a Nazi in the other time Nazis were in Star
Ooh.
Trek.
I did not have
Oh my
that. That's
God.
funny.
Yeah.
That's one I did not have.
Yeah, the Killing Game episodes of Voyager was like Nazi stuff too, and he was a Nazi in that as well, because he just looks like a
speaking-
douchey Nazi.
while we're on the topic of characters and other Star Trek episodes that were in this episode.
And this is a fun fact with Chris.
We haven't met him yet so far in the episode, but there is a alien who the production list names Grath, but his name is not mentioned in the episode. His actor also played Tuvix in Voyager.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
How bad is it that some write-off Nazi character, I'm assuming it's the one that got killed by the guys that were clearly part of the mob?
this is the main alien Nazi, so he's still...
No, different one. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's the informant one.
The main alien Nazi is like Vosk.
Yeah, that's Vosk.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's either the informant or the secondary one.
Oh, okay. Well,
this is just one more, like, just barely in the script alien that got a name instead of dude from the entirety of the season 3.
Although, to be fair, unless he was in some wicked blackface in Tuvix, I believe this guy is also black. So
yes, I believe he is. Yes, that is correct. Anyway, that just concludes Fun Facts with Chris and Stanford. Right after we get this fun the Nazi pompous guy scene, the convoy is hit by what appears to be partisans. Also, everyone sucks at shooting. What is this A-team? Was my note here.
Okay, so fun fact. This is not a fun fact like worthy of a separate call out song, but like bullets miss most of the time.
This is true.
So like the shooting here wasn't that bad. Like
it was pretty bad.
That's about accurate. Throw a bunch of bullets and hope to hit people because people did get hit, but like
eventually. They said that one dude like ran down the street fully in the open. Just superior tactics right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of superior tactics,
first time on the show.
Double fist punch.
Double punch. Now, this was a out of necessity double punch because Archer's hands were
he was
together.
literally handcuffed. Yeah, but he double fist punches the Nazi guy and escapes. And really, how could he not with that flawless Starfleet combat technique? This is actually why Starfleet teaches the double fist punch. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's
good
canon.
enough for Nazis. It's good enough for Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's then confronted by what appears to be some sort of mobster guy, and then
I did not realize until because I haven't seen this shit in forever, so I forgot that they were in America. I did not realize until they said later. And I'm like, why is there a fucking mobster in France? Because, I assumed they were in France or some shit, right? Because it was, occupied Germany. And I think that was kind of the point of that, sequence.
Right.
But, I was like, what's this fucking mobster doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you notice that the Americans all, I guess, they all got together and decided that there were going to be two forms of headwear?
Yes, berets and mobster hats.
I missed the newsboy caps.
Oh, yeah, the ones in on the insurgents. Yeah. They were newsboy caps, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the two types of people in New York, newsboys and mobsters.
Mm-hmm. So while this is happening on the Enterprise, the crew listens to a Winston Churchill recording. They identify that they are indeed 200 years in the past.
So, did you look up that recording, that speech?
I didn't, no.
Okay. That speech took place in 1943 on September 6th.
I'd heard that audio before.
Sure.
In various
and
World War II things.
Churchill was giving that speech at a graduation, at Harvard or some shit, right?
Hmm.
And he's doing it in a hey, we're on our way to winning this war. And he's trying to explain, we're thanks America for saving our asses. We've really got a good thing going here. Let's not disassemble this partnership we've grown, right after the war, kind of like we did last time. Very much a kind of pre-victory speech. So I cannot figure out why that's the speech they decided to use here. Because, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Especially since they very explicitly tell you what day it is in the show, which is well into 1944.
Well,
And-
wasn't there also
and-
like a famous Winston Churchill speech about like fighting them on the beaches and much more like conflicting language?
Yeah. But also, fun fact, when we later see where the Germans have taken over in America, Harvard is on that map.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess Churchill's giving this speech to some Germans? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's one of those things where it's like, it wouldn't bother me, except that, like, this is knowledge that the writers could find. They had to go find this speech. So, like...
Did you notice what, like, very obvious geographic boundary kind of limited the German advance in Northeast America?
Some river, right?
No, it's the Appalachian Mountains.
It's the Appalachians, yeah, that's where they stopped.
They got cut off, like, as soon as they hit Western Pennsylvania down to, like, Kentucky.
No. They were halfway through Ohio, which I found weird because Ohio's flat. What are they getting stopped by? But they were halfway through Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Trip is being very cranky about being in the past, just throwing a little bit of a hissy fit about it. T'Pol says they need to figure out how they got there so they can figure out how to get back. Travis posits that they were sent there on purpose and not on accident. Good call, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my, superior tactical sealing troops.
Yeah, just a completely unexpected sealing troop shows up.
Yep, completely unacceptable. I thought it was Silic at first, and it was confirmed later it was, but
yeah.
Yep, he's sneaking on board. Somehow he got on board. We don't exactly know how that happened, but he's there.
Somehow Silic returned.
We cut to a combo between the two Nazi aliens there.
Damn alien Nazis.
Yeah, they realize Archer is from the future because of his communicator they found on him. Back on Enterprise, Trip apologizes to T'Pol for his behavior earlier.
And, like, physics is weird, and I understand that I don't know a lot of physics. I did not major in it and stuff. So, but, like, it's really sad how going back in time makes two actors completely lose any chemistry they had between the two of them. Like, I don't know what the fuck this scene was trying to be, but it was
I don't know either.
Awful. Both of them were really phoning it in.
Yeah, so, they chat about what their plans were if they got back. Trip is beaches, T'Pol is Vulcan. Kind of like a kind of mountains versus beach discussion.
Part of me wonders if this was like a stand-in for like some of the writers that were upset that they also couldn't just, stop cranking up the tension from season 3 and just let them have a win for a change.
But, like, that doesn't excuse them from having Trip and T'Pol talking about their vacation plans, like a couple of people that are starting to, like, have a romance together, which is where we left things off in the last episode.
I mean, they were at least, like, very good friends, right? Like,
yeah, they had that whole emotional moment in the command center. Yeah, no, this is stupid.
It was very small talky. It was weird. Yeah. Shortly after that, though, Reed enters and talks about how there are battles going on in Virginia and Ohio, and they realize something is shenanigans.
This is where my note is. Okay, so alternate history where German is winning and attacking America is fine, but like the speech by Churchill doesn't really make any sense at this point.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in sickbay, Phlox tries to console Porthos with num-nums. But sad Porthos is indeed sad. He is also not in the mood for a song from Phlox, which I'm a little disappointed about. I wanted to hear a Phlox song.
Apparently, Phlox's songs are so bad his children cry.
That makes me want to hear it more. Anyway, a very horrible-looking Daniels stumbles into sickbay.
I was like, Jesus, Daniels looks terrible.
He's look rough. He's basically melting. Back on 1940s Earth, Archer is being nursed back to health by an attractive partisan lady. Alicia Travers introduces herself to Archer. She mentions that she saw his patch for Enterprise and said he must have gotten off before it sank. I will note here, and it is prominently displayed later in the episode, the patch has a fucking starship on it.
Yeah, I wasn't, yeah. So, like, I was trying to think about that, right? Because, like, patches in World War II, there's a lot of things that are on patches in World War II. And, like, I guess like, for example, there are a lot of Looney Tunes characters on patches in World War II. So, like, I guess
that is an identifiable thing to somebody in the 1940s.
I guess
it's not an identifiable thing.
But, like, my point is that, like, I guess I could see someone in like in the 1940s looking at that patch and going like, well, I don't know what the fuck that shit is, but like the military's weird, I guess. Like I don't know, because it doesn't say like USS Enterprise, we go to space, vroom vroom, space, warp travel, we. Like, it doesn't say that on the patch. It's just like an artistic
I mean, it has
rendition
a
of...
spaceship zooming through space.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Flying saucers were already in the popular vernacular at that point.
True.
In 44? I'm not sure that's true, because that actually... There is a very specific moment when flying saucers became part of the vernacular. It was, and I want to say it was in the 50s, because it was like these...
When did Marvin Martian become a Looney Tunes character? Or like, when did Buck Rogers happen?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, you're not wrong. The concept of spaceships was definitely a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, she confirms to Archer it is indeed 1942. And also does say they are in Brooklyn. Right after this scene, we get a very fun CG White House with a CG Nazi tank out in front, like nice Nazi banners. It was very silly. Here we have alien Nazis showing a film to a regular Nazi about some plasma weapon they're working on. Which, by the way...
Yeah, here it comes. Fun facts with Chris.
Let me find my note on it here. Where'd it go? Where the fuck is it? I'm getting there. Hold on. Oh, yes. In the weapon demonstration film clip, this footage is actually from The Killing Game, the Voyager episode. Which was another World War II themed 2-part episode in which J. Paul Boehmer, I don't know how you say his name, played a Nazi. That's the guy you mentioned earlier, isn't it?
I believe so.
So yes, the alien Nazi is making requests to this, who appears to be some more official, higher up official Nazi, for materials. Although the higher up Nazi guy does appear reticent to provide those. We get a little more war map, which you were kind of mentioning earlier, where we see the state of the war in America, and America isn't doing so hot. Most of the Northeast is taken over. They're moving into the South and Midwest.
I guess, like, this is the point where I've played enough World War II video games, especially, like, Hearts of Iron, to ask the question, like, what navy is Germany using to secure this landing zone in the U.S.?
It's a solid question.
Because, like...
So I guess, like,
and I guess, like, the question then is really, like, how much intervention did the aliens give the Germans? And
right. That's my question here.
What are they doing? Because so far, it just seems like the aliens are, like, advising them. They're just kind of there. Right. They're not really, like, giving them weapons or whatever.
Right. So there doesn't seem to be a lot of them.
Maybe they're using a mod of Hoi 4 where instead of just getting, like, equipment and stuff, you also get ships when nations capitulate.
That must be it.
Oh,
they stole the boats. Yeah. They stole the boats.
Well, they took the British Navy, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Reed's ancestors are going to be pissed.
And, I guess we also get some hints that the war's not going great in the Pacific either, because, like, the Enterprise sank.
Right. Yeah, there's things happened to the negative of the Allies in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, basically. It's one of those things where, like, I see what they were doing, and I see what they were going for, but, like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna give me details, you need to give me details. Because if you give me some details but not enough, now there's plot holes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to know what the aliens did to allow Germany to get here. I want to know how, did the aliens sink all of the American boats? We had a lot of boats. That's what we were doing. Like,
yeah, we were very, very boat heavy. Yeah, that's those. So
you know what they did?
Specifically, so nobody could get to us.
They stopped Hitler from just ODing constantly on the meth. That's what they did.
Well, anyway, the alien adds some extra incentive, talks about they're developing some bioweapon to target non-Aryans, blah, and that gets his Nazi boner really going. So he's like, fine, we'll get the stuff for you. Back on Enterprise, Flock says different parts of Daniel's body are different ages, which sounds fucking terrible.
I mean, I gotta be honest, Chris. It doesn't look great, does it? Daniels isn't doing hot. Like he's not,
really not. Yeah.
He's having a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah.
There's a part of his forehead that looks like saran wrap. Like, I don't think it's going well.
It's real bad. Flock says he's not going to live more than 24 hours. T'Pol says she needs to speak to him. We cut away back to Earth, where some mobsters walk by as Americans are rounded up and shot in the street.
I was like, this is where I was like, Jesus fucking Krauts, god damn.
Yeah, they went full Nazi. They go to visit, the mobsters go to visit Alicia and Archer and get cranky with Archer since the Nazis are looking for Archer and hurting everybody else in the process.
They also, they call these Germans the Gestapo, which like, they don't, I don't think they're Gestapo. They're just like dudes just occupying Nazi soldiers, city. Yeah, like they're not like secret police. They're just like schmucks who happen to be here.
Yep.
Yeah, like I gotta ask, like at this point, why doesn't Archer just tell these guys why he's here?
That'll corrupt the sacred timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there is no prime directive yet. He's probably just like, even he doesn't know that this is Daniels at this point, but like, he's probably just pissed. Like, he was probably looking forward to the vacation on the beach and/or mountains as well.
I agree. Once he figured out that history was already different, he should have been like, well, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's 1944 and the Germans are in Brooklyn. Maybe it doesn't matter what I do to this timeline.
Right.
It's already bad.
It's already pretty rough. After that scene, we cut to Enterprise, where Gross Daniels asks where Archer is, because he's now coherent somewhat again. He kind of explains how the temporal Cold War is really popping off, and it's an all-out conflict now. It's real bad. It's real bad. Agents have been ordered to change history all over the timeline, causing paradoxes and nonsense happening, including Nazis in Brooklyn. Daniels says you have to stop him, and I thought he died here initially, but he doesn't. Yeah. Just kind of passes out, even though they kind of set up him dying very quickly. Back on Earth, Nazi aliens are they're not actually interrogating a member of the Resistance. They're just talking about interrogating a member of the Resistance.
There's a lot of talk about interrogating without actually any interrogating going on in this episode.
Very true. Yes. They also do mention they have detected Enterprise in orbit, and it matches the technology. Somehow they determined that it matched the technology from the communicator. Alicia and Archer are having some num-nums. It looks like stuffed peppers. It didn't look half bad, to be honest.
I was like, fuck, stuffed peppers are so good. Which, side note, we had Indian food tonight, and Mariah gets to turn in her basic white bitch card because she had something that was not tikka masala or butter chicken.
What? No, I usually get korma now.
You do usually get korma, which is not quite as white girl, but it's still pretty bad. But now,
jalfrezi was very good.
Jalfrezi is very good.
It's not bad. It's
jalfrezi is very good.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Jalfrezi is it's like without sounding like a fucking Indian weeaboo, I don't even know if there's a term for that. Like, my family and I went to an Indian restaurant all the time in DC because my stepfather fucking loves Indian food, and my mom liked it well enough. She always got the same thing, which is paneer makhani, which is basically butter cheese instead of butter chicken. But jalfrezi is like, it's like an actual like dish that Indian people eat instead of just like the shit they made for British people. So it's got more vegetables in it. It is not a cream-based sauce, so it's almost like a stew in its consistency. But it's really good. And it's really good because it's not just like cubes of chicken and cubes of potatoes inside a cream sauce. It's got like peppers and onions, and like it's got more to it, and so it's got a better flavor profile. It's got like a more interesting flavor. Jalfrezi's really good.
Now I'm hungry.
I had biryani, which is always a fucking solid pick. Biryani is so fucking good.
Yep. Yep, num-nums, that's right. That's how we got started on this.
So anyway, stuffed peppers are delicious. It's like the only thing the English did, or the Europeans know how to make.
All I want to eat forever is garlic naan.
Yeah, I mean, you just stuff the other stuff in the garlic naan.
So
just
I like garlic
naan.
I'm sorry, what? Did you just use naan like a pita?
Yeah, man. Just
Yeah.
ow.
And I'm not saying that's gross or anything, but I've genuinely never thought to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Use it to
that's
scoop up the sauce, man.
That's the basic way many cultures eat food.
I've used it to grab sauce and stuff. I get that, but I've never stuffed it like a gyro.
No. Like I tear off a piece and then like grab some food and then eat
no. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Where you do the pinch. Oh, okay. I thought you were, because naan's got some space in it. I thought you were opening it up like a pita and like throwing shit into it. I was like, I've never thought of that.
Shit, that sounds like an amazing idea.
Oh my God. I actually prefer regular naan to garlic naan. I find the garlic flavors like I prefer. It overpowers the Indian flavors that I like.
Both are delicious. Moving on. Alicia gives a dramatic reading of various events with the Germans invading, rolling through Brooklyn, yada yada. Germans apparently also outlawed music. My note here was, what is this, Footloose?
They outlawed. They outlawed, quote, colored music.
Yeah.
Archer.
God, I don't like saying that.
Yeah. There was some like. I feel like there was definitely moments in this. They're like, well, it's the Nazis. We got to do some racist shit.
Yeah, and there's I definitely had that note. It's like, we fucking get it. They're Nazis. Stop being more and more racist. Oh, it's when they're stopped on the street, lady.
Yeah, we get to that. Yeah. Yep. Archer asks Alicia about the Nazi alien he saw. She mentioned she heard stories of them from Sal, which is one of the mobster guys who came by earlier.
Sal, by the way, Sal fucks. What a great guy. He's incredible throughout the entire episode.
Well, both Sal and I don't know if the other guy got a name, but both of those were guys
Jimmy
were on
the Chin
Sopranos.
or whatever that other dude was. Yeah,
they were both regular characters on Sopranos.
I called the other dude Young Chris Christie.
I like it. He's definitely got that profile, right?
That dude has played more mobsters in media than I can count.
Because he looks like a mobster. Like, you put a fedora on him and he just instantly is a mobster.
Yeah. On the still busted as fuck Enterprise, we get a nice exterior establishing shot. We see Trip is visited by Silic in engineering. He tells Trip to get in the shuttle pod at gunpoint.
Silic shows up, and I was like, God, even Daniel's fucked up face has nothing on the Suliban. Oh, God, they're so hideous.
I disagree. Daniel's takes the cake here.
And also, once Silic comes and like starts expositing at Trip for a minute and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, so episode 1 of season 4 is, and now we return to our normally scheduled Enterprise dumb fuckery. Like, like we had this like sabbatical where we did some good shit in season 3, and now we're just back to this dumb Suliban nonsense.
Yeah, he tries. Trip tries to fight Silic when he orders him into the shuttle, but then Silic turns his head to Silly Putty and it squeezes out of his grasp and shoots Trip.
Silic turns his own head to Silly Putty, by the way. He did not turn Trip's head to Silly Putty.
The Enterprise detects Silic's ship leaving and shoots at the shuttle. It seems to hit it, but it goes on to Earth. On Earth, Archer tries to set up a meeting with Sal. That was a nice little crack there. Wow, I haven't had one of those in a while.
Congratulations. Maybe your voice will deepen, dick.
Archer's trying to set up a meeting with Sal. On their way out, they get intercepted by some Nazis who do some racist shit. Yeah, this is
my note. This is my note. Oh, the Nazis are racist. Oh, thanks for that scene, Enterprise. I had no idea. Because literally the entire point was that the Nazis were being racist. There was no other use to that scene.
No other point.
Do you guys notice that, like, anytime Bakula has to put on a costume that's not, like, just Enterprise gear, he goes into, like, Quantum Leap mode. And, like it's so funny. Like, he's back in his element, and like he just gets a little bit better at acting.
Just a little bit, yeah. It turns out what Scott Bakula can't do is act, but what he can do is pretend that he's somebody else while acting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a subtle difference, but like it really does come through here.
Oh my. We love you, Scott Bakula. Enterprise is trying to track Silic, and Trip asks kind of the question why Silic spared him, because he dragged him out of the cargo bay before it depressurized and made sure he was okay. So we kind of get some questions as to the motives of Silic here. Back on Earth, we learned that the nice Italian fellows were indeed mafia before the war.
No, they were just, listen, they were just helping people when they were in a financial situation. Okay.
That's definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So the mobsters, yeah. Archer meets with the guys, with the mobsters, and they go see this guy who, Sal had talked to and who had told him about the alien.
Would you say that they know a guy?
He knows a guy who knows a guy.
And that's literally the entire plot. Yeah.
Archer says he wants to talk to the alien contact. There's some kind of going back and forth here, and we cutscene.
Yeah, this is where I was like, notes. God, they are really laying these New York accents on thick.
It was silly and unnecessary, but here we are. Trip and Travis beam down to Earth after they identify, afterward they identify a plasma signature of the shuttle.
What I can only assume is the Enterprise Taylor having a fucking field day.
Oh yeah, man. Fantastic costumes. Right here, I wrote, I see we are adding misogyny into the 1940s menu. I don't recall exactly what that was about.
Oh, yeah. Well, so because what's his face was like, talking about the people they used to hire, and now because now the women were part of the resistance, it's like, well, we might even need to start hiring some broads too, because they can really scrap. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's right. That's what it was. Archer meets with the alien. There's this scene where he's kind of ambushed by all the mobster guys, and he's forced into the light. Quick note here, and I did see this before I actually saw the trivia note on it. But
fun facts with Chris.
Did you see his hand when they were kind of backing him into the light? It was just like a regular guy hand. Like he was not gray at all. It just
I didn't know this.
Caucasian hand. Yeah. So they see him. And there's like, oh, well, gee willikers, this is an alien guy. Trip and Travis find the stolen shuttle. Silica's not there. We then cut immediately back to Archer, who for some reason objects to Sal shooting the guy during the interrogation.
Oh my God, Sal here's like, how does this suit you? Bang! He shoots the motherfucker in the leg. I was like, oh man, Sal is the best.
Yeah, that's really normally up Archer's alley. I guess he has some misgivings for some reason here, though. The alien then says that they are using the Germans to help build a way to get back to their time as they are stranded currently. And,
Archer asked them, like, yo, why are you helping the Germans win World War II on Earth? And the alien's answer is literally, we wanted to.
Right. They just needed some supplies, that's all. This seems the most convenient way.
His answer was, it suits us. That's his direct quote. It's like, oh, okay. Shit.
Well, after he gets shot, which, by the way, Sal does a great job of making him talk here by shooting him in the leg. Or the hand. It was the hand, because he bled in grease, I guess. It was, like, weird and yellow.
It was like, it was like yellow lymph fluid. Yeah. What it looked like.
So after they get the information, Sal finishes the job and kills him. But this time, alarms are going off, so the Nazis are on their way. Back with Trip and Travis. Trip says, it could take a week to fix the shuttle, but the Nazis are clearly on the way there as well. So it's time to blow up the shuttle.
Did you point out that they didn't take the alien with them, so Sal shot him dead?
What'd you say?
Did you?
Yeah.
Sal.
I said Sal finished him off. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that sentence. Yeah. Sal don't leave a job undone, man. Sal gets shit done.
Yeah. On their way back, Archer and his group realize that they are in trouble, as there's a bunch of people out there that normally aren't, and they are ambushed by a whole bunch of Nazis. Sal immediately gets gunned down.
Oh no, Sal!
Other mob guy, however, covers Archer and Alicia's escape, like a real dude. He's a real one. And this
is where I was like, man, no wonder the resistance is working so well. These Germans are fucking terrible. Like they can't hit. They hit Sal because Sal's just standing there, but they couldn't hit the large, slow-moving mobsters.
Yeah, who, by the way, takes out a whole bunch of Germans.
He killed like 6 of them.
Yeah, he does.
Archer and Alicia are quartered in an alley. Alicia's kind of firing and holding them off while Archer tries to contact Enterprise. Meanwhile, the Germans arrive on the scene of the crashed shuttle and decide to all take a nice plop down in the shuttle.
And I like how
everybody get into the shuttle.
I like how Trip and Travis are like, we got to blow up this shuttle. I mean, we're going to wait for all them Nazis to get in there first because that's going to be fucking great.
They all fucking pile in. Like, there's like 6 of them in there.
Yeah, it's like a clown car of Nazis. They had dogs, too. They took some dogs in there with them.
Yeah. And anyway, Trip and Travis blow that up with the Nazis inside. However, very shortly after, they are captured by some other Nazis. Enterprise does manage to pick up Archer's signal. They beam Archer and Alicia just as they are about to be captured.
Archer gives his best line ever.
Oh, I missed it. What was it?
The alien Nazi shows up and is like, I would like to have a word with you. And Archer goes, it'll have to wait, right as they're getting beamed out. It was like, all right, that was a good line. Damn.
Which, by the way, this time I guess gunfire in the transport
it doesn't matter. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, no,
I was going to say, like, I was questioning that too. I was like, is it because it's not energy weapons?
It's because the plot didn't require it.
Right.
Okay.
The captain makes his glorious return to the bridge. The crew are all super excited and happy to see him. T'Pol looks very weirdly at him.
Yeah. She's trying real hard not to hug him.
It's like
I don't know what her acting there was supposed to be.
I'm not sure what the direction was, but it just looked weird. Archer is also greeted by Porthos when he goes to sickbay, where he has a chat with Daniels about the aliens and who they're dealing with. They apparently invented some stealth time travel.
My note here is he developed a form of stealth time travel. I'm like, Jesus fucking exposition. What the fuck?
Yeah, just silly exposition happens here. Daniels said he sent the Enterprise to this point so they can stop Bosk, and now Daniels dies.
To be continued.
He's actually dead for real this time.
Really dead this time.
Or he's going to inside of him is a fetal him that's going to like emerge like a cocoon.
Yes, that's what's happening. Definitely.
That's how time travel works. You don't know.
Yeah, we get some quick scene where Trip and Travis are talking to the head alien guy. He's very foreboding about interrogation with them. And then he goes and stands over some giant CG conduit thing. And then to be continued. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, 0 being threshold, where are we at?
You want me to go first?
I would love to hear your opinion of this episode, Rob.
Okay. So I went into this episode wanting to be mad because I was really... I feel like they gave us, like, storytelling blue balls after the last episode. Like, I just wanted there to be, like, a happy little victory speech on Earth. I don't know. But, and, like, I know historically I've said I hate time travel episodes, but this was pretty fun. The costumes are really cool. I genuinely liked Alicia and the Italian mob guys that were working with the Resistance. I gave it a 4.
All right, Stanford.
So I went into this episode wanting to be mad and was completely justified in that desire. This episode was fucking awful. I gave it a 2 because the costuming was fine, I guess. I don't know. I gave it a 2 because Sal was fun. But like, I feel like this episode was nothing but very clumsy storytelling I don't know, it feels like exactly what it seems like it was, which was we left the last season on this dumb cliffhanger that we had to like fulfill. It felt like one of those shitty seasons of Lost, you know? It's like, okay, well, here's what's going to happen, right? So, like, Daniels is going to show up, and, well, so the problem is that everyone in this episode is just like Earthlings, except for, like, 2 aliens, so the makeup guy is going to need a lot to do. So, like, give him Daniels. He could just go nuts on Daniels. And then that Daniels is going to deliver every single piece of information the audience needs to understand what's happening in a 12-second sequence where we're going to look at his face and want to vomit the whole time. And then he's going to die. We're never going to see him again. And then also Nazis. Like, it just was, I'm sorry. It was bad. It was not well done. There was no good plot here. And it was, even the little elements of plot that happened were so Deus Ex Machina that it was kind of like stupid. Like, what is Silic doing, and why did he happen to crash his shuttle pod next to New York City? Like, I don't know. I just, 2 out of 5. Fuck it.
So, before I get to my rating, I did want a couple minor trivia things that I forgot to mention earlier.
Just a couple minor trivia things, with Chris?
First one was the apparently you were speaking of the makeup with Daniels here. Apparently this is a similar makeup to what was used for Chakotay and his like out of time flux condition or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's similar makeup or not, but he did have the same condition. Yes.
Yeah. Also, this was apparently the first episode of Enterprise that was shot with digital cameras rather than on traditional film.
Yes, and that is true for the rest of the season, except for one scene.
Interesting. And finally,
when that scene happens, I will let you know, but you will understand why.
Sure. Finally, with the addition of this episode, Enterprise became the first Star Trek series to start a 4th season without having any change in the main cast since its pilot episode, which I thought was an interesting little tidbit. Which leads me into my my deep dive, but my rating first. I'm a 2 out of 5 on this one. I won't go into too much detail, but yeah, it's Nazis.
You guys are no fun.
It's Nazis. We hit a bunch of Nazi tropes.
That's the other thing too. It's just cliche Nazi shit, like the Nazis being racist against the one character. Completely fucking unnecessary scene. Just a waste of film.
There was fun bits with the mobster guys and the partisan lady, but yeah, I mean overall, like what are we doing here? It's a 2 of 5.
IMDb only gave it a 3, so obviously it's pretty bad.
That tracks with our ratings anyway. They're usually at least a point or 2 higher than us. So, all right. So when we come back, as I mentioned before, we'll get into our deep dive. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so for today's deep dive, as I teased before, we are going to talk about cast changes in Star Trek. As I mentioned, Star Trek Enterprise was the first, to that point, Star Trek series that had no major cast changes in the main cast within the first 4 seasons.
I want to push back against that trivia because, like, saying there were no major cast changes, it is true that the main cast that was in the pilot was also in this episode. I agree with that sentence. But I guess fuck Colonel Hayes.
Yeah, no, he doesn't count.
Or Major Hayes.
He's a secondary character.
But he was in the main cast.
No, he wasn't.
Nah.
He wasn't also in the pilot.
As much, if not more, screen time in season 3 than Travis did.
That's fair. That doesn't mean he was part of the main cast.
All right. Because does that not count as a change because they killed him, so he doesn't count?
It does not. No, because he wasn't on the pilot either. So, like, he wasn't there the whole time. He wasn't.
Yeah,
in the first 2
that
seasons.
was a change to the main cast. They added a member who then they later took away. But like, that is a change.
You are being pedantic again, sir.
I just think Major Hayes needs more.
No, fuck that guy.
I think Major Hayes just needs. He's a better character than Reed.
Can I do my deep dive?
Oh gosh.
All right. So, as I was saying, there have not been major changes to the main cast in any of
Literally
the
a
previous
major.
Star Treks.
Literally a major. It is a change in majors.
So I wanted to
gonna
roll
need a
through
sock.
each series and kind of go over
I got some
a little
socks
bit
here,
about each change. So in TOS, we of course have Christopher Pike originally in the pilot being replaced by Captain James T. Kirk. According
So-
to...
Does that... Okay. No,
I
but like,
just
hold on.
started talking,
It's
sir.
like,
I
oh my
just
God.
started
No,
talking.
no,
Hold on. Hold on.
I just started talking.
This is pedantic
Sir,
interjections with Stanford.
sir,
Does
sir.
that count? Because there was a second pilot to TOS with Kirk.
Would you let me do my fucking deep dive,
All
dude?
right,
Come on.
all right.
Yeah, also, Bones wasn't in the original pilot, I don't think.
I will get to that, God damn it.
Damn it,
Sorry.
Rob. He's trying to explain. What are you doing, man?
I thought I was helping.
According to NBC execs, The Cage was too cerebral for 1960s audiences, with a focus on the questions raised by difficult morality play, instead of the pulpy sci-fi action adventure series Wagon Train to the Stars that the network was expecting. Go ahead, Stanford.
1960s audiences are too fucking stupid for this shit. Quote the NBC people.
Yeah. In fact, producers thought little about Star Trek, how it actually worked. Leonard Nimoy's Spock was demonic, quote unquote, with his pointed
Jesus.
ears and brows.
Oh.
Majel Barrett's number one, the USS Enterprise first officer, was too serious and a woman. Most importantly, Jeff
I was going to say,
Hunter's-
which do you think was a bigger issue there?
Yeah. Most importantly, Jeff Hunter's Captain Pike didn't seem like the right kind of leading man for Star Trek. Instead of scrapping Star Trek, however, NBC ordered a second pilot with one caveat. The entire cast needed to be replaced.
Oh, just one caveat.
Yeah, right. Jeffrey Hunter's Captain Christopher Pike was replaced by William Shatner as Captain James T. Kirk. The studio, however, allowed Roddenberry to keep one of the original characters, and since it was important to the theme of Star Trek that an alien be among the Starship Enterprise's bridge crew, Leonard Nimoy's Mr. Spock got to stay.
But he was told to stop yelling.
Yes, and smiling. No smiling. Besides being asked to leave, Jeffrey Hunter simply didn't want to do Star Trek after the first pilot anyway. He was apparently convinced by his wife, Barbara Rush, that he was a movie star and TV was beneath him. So,
All right.
Cool.
Did he go on to be in movies?
he did. Yeah, I couldn't read him off to you. The articles and things I was reading had him in there, but he did do movies. But yeah.
So I don't know,
So-
like does that count then? Because that wasn't. I don't know. Does that pilot count?
Let me
Yes.
do my deep dive, Stanford.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I'm doing each
This
series.
is one series.
You suck
No,
at
I
this.
didn't mean done with the whole deep dive. I thought you were done with TOS.
I am done with TOS, yes. And
Okay,
yes,
then
it
that's my
counts.
fucking question.
It
because
counts
like,
because fuck
This
you,
isn't
that's
a
why.
debate.
no, but did that? No. Everything's a debate. I went to poli-sci school. Did that pilot actually air?
Yes. As far as I understand, yes.
I was under the impression that pilot was made. It did not do well. They redid a new pilot with Kirk and Bones and all them, and then later they used the pilot that they made but didn't actually air as part of that when the dude shows up in the weird ass wheelchair with the face burns. Like, I thought that's when we actually saw that footage for the first time.
So it was apparently not aired until 1988.
So then does that count as a pilot then?
Yes, because it was called a fucking pilot, you goon.
Right. Okay. No. Stand by. Because that pilot wasn't canon. Like,
Stanford.
they did a new pilot for the show.
Stanford, it was the pilot of the show. It counts.
I'm just saying.
You-
I think this trivia is bullshit because
You
A,
can say-
that
you
was
can
not
say
a good
that.
pilot,
You're wrong.
and B, Major Hayes was a
You're
major
wrong.
change to the cast.
You're wrong. You can say it all you want. You are wrong. Moving on. So, Next Generation.
PNG.
We have two different ones. We have Tasha Yar leaves. Denise
Sure.
Crosby decided to leave the show before the first season concluded, although it was Star Trek
Monster.
creator Gene Roddenberry who decided to kill off her character. In a 2012 interview with StarTrek.com, Crosby discussed why she left, saying, "I didn't want to spend the next 6 years going, 'Aye, aye, Captain,' and standing there, in the same uniform, in the same position on the bridge. As the security chief, she should have
Fair
been
enough.
first line of defense against any enemies, but she got shitty plot lines and was like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. So she was then killed off. We, of course, also have the Crusher to Pulaski to Crusher situation, which is multi-layered, I would say.
It's just like the Major Hayes situation, if I'm honest.
God,
If I had to draw an analogy.
Before Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 2, Gates McFadden was fired from the show by head writer Maurice Hurley. With Dr. Crusher gone, the USS Enterprise D, of course, needed a new doctor, and Diana Muldaur, I don't know how to say her last name, Mulder, was brought in as Dr. Catherine Pulaski. Although Next Generation Season 2 showed an improvement over the first season, Dr. Pulaski was not as popular as Dr. Crusher had been. Although Mulder had not revealed much about her departure from the show, she had only signed a contract to appear in one season. In an interview in Star Trek Explorer, issue 9, Mulder revealed a bit more about her exit, where she said, "I left the show because the year was up. Simple as that. Under my own power." Apparently, she didn't like it enough to sign another contract. It seems Mulder had decided to leave the show regardless of anything going on behind the scenes or the lukewarm reception to her character. She has also stated in other interviews that she never planned to stay on Next Generation for an extended period, and her portrayal of Pulaski helped the actress land a role on LA Law. Gates McFadden was apparently reluctant to accept the role of Dr. Crusher because of her commitment to appear in the play The Matchmaker at La Jolla Playhouse. While production on TNG Season 1 was infamously chaotic and numerous writers quit the show during its tumultuous first year. As a result, Hurley rose to become TNG's, this is Maurice Hurley, the aforementioned writer, rose to become head writer and began to put his stamp on the series. As a interview from 2018, McFadden said the following: "I had been in conflict with one of the male writer-producers about certain things I thought were sexist. What I've heard is that he said either she goes or I go. I was shocked that they let me go because I knew my character was really popular. But he was going to be writing more and more and didn't want to have to deal with me. What was great was they got rid of him and asked me to come back."
Good. Damn.
Patrick Stewart was also apparently upset about McFadden's departure and played a role in bringing her back to the cast after that second season, when Rick Berman took over running Star Trek Next Generation.
That's bad to hear.
Yeah, after Hurley left at the end of Season 2, Berman asked McFadden to come back. And it notes that, of course, Dr. Pulaski was not as popular with fans. So yeah, a lot going on that one. We, of course, then moved to DS9, and the major change there was, of course, Worf joining in Season 4, which I always forget. I feel like he joined later than Season 4, but it was Season 4.
Yeah, I mean, the show ran for 7 years, so it couldn't have been, yeah.
Yep, so he was added in Season 4 to, of course, help increase ratings after, the end of Next Generation. Although there was this weird period of time where he was on DS9, but also Star Trek movies were happening with the Next Generation crew, and he was there too.
Yeah.
But we don't need to go into details there. But yeah, that was pretty straightforward. Worf was a popular character, and they wanted to boost the crew and the ratings to DS9, so he was introduced.
That's a good point.
About the cross.
I forgot, because I was like, well, he was in the Defiant in first No, because the only movie that was during DS9's run was First Contact, right? Maybe Generations.
I think Generations too, wasn't it?
But that must have been early DS9, right? Because that was that was 1994. But I'm sure they filmed it before DS9 had moved, because DS9 started in 93. Yeah, that sounds right. I don't think there's any real the actor, sure, but I don't think there's a timeline conflict there, because he was in the Defiant in First Contact. So First Contact takes place after DS9.
That's true.
And then Worf was on the Enterprise D, or the Enterprise D.
It is kind of we need Worf to appear here for this movie because he's part of the Next Generation crew. He comes in on the Defiant.
Oh, he flies in on the Defiant.
All right. So and then Voyager, of course, Kess leaves and 709 comes in. There was lost my place. In the center seat, 55 Years of Star Trek by Peter Holmstrom, Jerry Taylor puts Jennifer Lean's departure from Star Trek Voyager in a new light. While praising Lean's talent, Taylor described the demons the actress faced that she didn't want to communicate about to or get help for. Taylor, quote, said, "I think the reason people don't like to talk to you about it is they don't know what to say. It was a mystery to everyone. Jennifer Lean, who played Kess in Voyager, a very, very good actor, and the relationship between her and Neelix was working wonderfully. She began to become distracted, inattentive. There was just something off. I asked her to come into my office and probe gently to see if there was something going on in her life, something I could help her with, and she simply wouldn't speak at all. This is what happened to everyone who tried to reach out to and help her, including her agent. To this day, I don't think anyone knows what was going on, but clearly there was something emotionally upset about her. She would not open up about it. She would not consider getting help about it, but clearly it was more powerful than she was. And she was incapable of continuing. Such a loss when someone with that kind of talent, who could have gone on to such heights, was unable to overcome her demons." So it seems that from what I was looking at, that there was some type of struggles that were going on with the actress at the time. And, of course, there's things that have happened more recently.
I was going to say, wasn't she recently arrested?
Yeah, certainly point to maybe some personal struggles. And so that at the time was, I think, the main impetus for her leaving, or at least that's what the people in the show have put out there about the situation. And of course, it allowed them to bring in Jerry Ryan into the show as 7 of 9.
There's certainly a level of me that is concerned that like what was happening was that someone on the show was fucking with her.
It's certainly distinctly possible.
Given how shitty Brennan and Braga were, it wouldn't have surprised me if it was one of them.
Who knows? Yeah.
So like,
I don't think we can make assumptions, but
I can't make assumptions. You're right, but what I can do is wildly conjecture because no one's listening to me.
Yeah, that's fair. You are good at wildly conjecturing. So that highlights the various main cast changes in the first few Star Trek series, and like I said, I just thought it was interesting that each one of those series had their own little tweaks here and there, or in the case of TOS, a whole cast reboot.
Do we? Okay, but what about the animated series?
Well, that doesn't count.
Oh, why not?
Because it's different. Shut up. That's why. Man,
this goalpost has been moved so many fucking times. I'm having trouble keeping up with it. God damn.
Stanford, I hate you.
I know you do.
So, Chris, the next time he does a deep dive, we're just going to rip it to shreds, right?
Just wildly conjecture.
That's not going to work because my deep dives are perfect because they're poorly planned.
Those two things say different things, sir. Yeah. All right. Well, when we come back, Rob will have some potpourri for us.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. For potpourri this week, we are bringing back my favorite game, Disney theme park attraction or Star Trek title.
Yes, I remember this game.
I don't think we played this specific game before.
I was just talking about this with Matthew. Like, we need to do that again.
Yeah, I like the romance novel ones. I feel like, well, especially with
That's
like,
my favorite.
Oh my god, with all the titles that they come up with from the original series, like it's low hanging fruit. So yes, we're gonna go through. I'm going to list off the names of things, and you will have to guess if it is a Disney theme park attraction or a Star Trek title. And you can get bonus points if you guess that it's a Star Trek, what series it's from, and if you guess that it is a Disney theme park attraction, the theme park that it belongs to.
When you say theme park,
Right,
does
that's
that
too much
mean
for me.
like?
I'm not playing that.
Are we talking like Disneyland or Disney World?
No more bonus points.
No.
No.
This is not how I work.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying the fact that Mariah got like some complicated math homework that she has to do now. When you say Disney theme park, do you mean like Like Disney World versus Disneyland? Or do you mean like, is it Epcot? Is it Animal Kingdom?
Yes, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom.
I don't know that
whichever
shit.
one it
God
belongs to.
damn.
Haha, I have
level
an
of
advantage.
tree, I just
I went to Disney World once, like 30 years ago.
I've been 3 times? Twice.
I have been way too many times for me to count at this point in my life because my mom and dad were obsessed with it.
Yep.
All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to list off the name, and I'm going to give you each a chance to make your guesses as to which of the 2 main categories it is. And if you happen to have guessed it right, then you'll be able to go for the bonus point. Sound good?
Okie doke.
All right.
All right. First one, Tomorrowland. Chris, we'll take your guess first.
I'm already in my head about this. God damn it.
I know this one.
Yeah, that's a Disney ride.
Honey, saying I know this one is kind of a big clue.
I realized that after I said it. I realized it after I said it. I'm sorry.
She's been to Disney several times. She's watched like 3 episodes of Star Trek.
I understand. I'm sorry.
I was already leaning towards Disneyland or Disney ride. Because there was I know there was a Star Trek episode that's kind of similar to that, but not that. So I was going to say that anyway, if it makes you feel any better.
I am also going to say Disney ride.
All right. You are correct. Well, sort of. It's not a ride. It's one of the It's one of the 4 regions of the Magic Kingdom.
I was going to say Magic. Where's the bonus points, Rob?
Damn it.
God damn it, Rob. Because Chris didn't know that shit.
Wait, so Chris gets that point, right?
Yeah, they both get the point.
Oh, they both get a point.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, that was my bad. I ruined the game already. I'm so sorry.
Oh. Okay.
They were your rules.
All right, next up. Yesteryear. Chris?
Tomorrowland, yesteryear. That's funny.
Star Trek episode?
I also say Star Trek episode.
You would both be correct. What series is it from?
I don't like that question.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
DS9.
It's that Babylon 5 episode where they go to Babylon 4. Yesteryear. Boy. I'm gonna go with Next Generation.
You're both incorrect. It was from the animated series.
Oh,
damn it. That one doesn't count. Chris already said that.
He has a point. I did say that.
You did say that. But that's okay. This is my game, my rules. Next up, Carousel of Progress.
That.
Stupid name.
Chris.
I mean, I feel like this is like a trap.
All of these are traps.
Yeah,
that's the point.
The whole point.
But it has carousel in it. I mean, it's right in the fucking name.
But how many Star Trek episodes have also involved clowns, Chris?
Like more than one.
I know.
Fuck, I don't know. Star Trek episode?
Disney ride.
It's a Disney ride.
Yeah.
That one, fun fact, is in Tomorrowland. It is in the Magic Kingdom.
It is, yeah.
I was I'm over here trying to stop you. I'm like, no, Rob, keep your mouth shut.
Another fun fact about this, this was originally presented at one of the world's fairs. I forget which one.
Yes.
But then it got moved to the Magic Kingdom afterwards.
I believe...
die on it?
People have died on it all the time. I believe it is technically the longest continually running stage performance.
That would not surprise me.
Because it's all like animatronic. There's no actual people involved.
But I thought there was a story about some woman getting like smushed.
She didn't get smushed. She got cut in half. There's a difference.
That's even worse.
So, okay. So, Chris, I realize you don't even know what this fucking shit is. So,
what did she get smushed in half?
Okay, so let me explain it to you from the audience's perspective, and then let me explain to you how it actually works, and maybe you'll understand how she got cut in half. So, in the middle of the stage, on the stage is like a vignette of like an era of American history. It starts like pre-electricity, right? Like Little House on the Prairie kind of shit, okay? And then after their little vignette ends, where these people talk about their life, the stage rotates and you get the next era. And so they go through like the 20s and then the war and then like they go into the future a little bit. It's fun. Carousel of Progress. Only what I said is not technically accurate. The stage does not rotate. the audience around the stage rotates. So actually the entire building rotates around a stationary stage. And there are 5 or 6 parts to the stage, which means that there are 5 or 6 separate audiences, and you get on at the earliest one and then you get off at the end, right? Well, this person, in order to get to the end faster, decided to try to cut through the stage between when it was rotating, because you can see the other audiences. They're like right there. She did not make it. And so the wall where the thing sinks back up to the stage cut her in half because it's got enough torque to move an entire fucking building.
Jesus Christ.
And so 2 separate audiences saw this woman get cut in half right in front of them. Yes.
And like the room is big.
My God.
You can easily sit like 100 people in.
Oh yeah, it's like a movie theater.
Sections.
Yeah, imagine a carrot, like a lazy Susan of 6 movie theaters that rotate around a central stage.
I got the full picture.
Puppets.
Yeah. Like I got it, but like why? Oh man, people make bad decisions.
And there's a song. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Punctured by
we went in there because it was hot as fuck and we were waiting for something else, so we went in there because it was air conditioned.
It's like the Country Bear Jamboree or like the Hall of Presidents, you know? You just kind of go in there to get out of the sea, the sun and the humidity.
Put like plexiglass or something so people could get out of the stands. Like
they have since changed it so that there is like a barricade between, and it may be plexi between the audience and those like corners where the meat is. Yeah.
Smart.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Well, Stanford gets a bonus point for that one.
She gets an extra bonus point for my history lesson.
What a horrifying rabbit hole that was.
Take away a point for how much you're talking. Shut up.
God damn.
I mean, it's fair.
Next up, Flight of Passage. Chris.
Flight of Passage? Star Trek episode?
Stanford.
I'm also going to say Star Trek episode.
Ooh, this is another ride at Disney World. This is the new Avatar, like 4D experience thing where you're like riding on the back of one of the things that the Na'vi ride on. I can't remember what those are called. Very cool ride. It's at Animal Kingdom. All right, next one, Parallax. Chris.
That's a Star Trek episode.
That's a Star Trek episode.
All right, Chris. What series is it from?
The Voyager.
Stanford.
I also say Voyager.
They both get bonus points.
All right.
Nicely done. Next up, The Voyage Home. Chris.
Do movies count?
Yes.
So that's a Star Trek movie.
Stanford.
Yeah, it's Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. Save the whales. Yeah.
There you go.
I was like, is this a trick question? Like it's
right?
All right, they both get bonus points. Next up, Spaceship Earth. Christopher.
Disney ride?
Stanford.
Disney.
Yep, it's a Disney ride. What park's it from, Chris?
He's Jabumblefuck. I don't know.
Oh, you're close. It's Epcot.
Bonus point to Stanford.
That is the ride that's in the big golf ball, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it's called? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's called Spaceship Earth.
I have not been on that ride. Wait. Did I?
I didn't go on it because it is explicitly inaccessible.
Next up, Assignment Earth. Christopher.
I feel weird when you call me Christopher.
It is weird, yeah.
Cristobal.
Cristobal. Assignment Earth. Disney ride?
Stanford.
Star Trek episode.
It's a Star Trek episode. What
It's
series is it from?
Original series. I believe that's the one with Gary Seven in it, right?
Oh my God, it is. Good job.
Fuck yeah, baby. I've never seen it, but we've talked about it enough.
Yeah, we have talked about it a couple of times. Yeah, in a couple of my deep dives, I feel like I've brought it up now a couple of times. Brought it up.
I'm terrible with
You
episode.
done brought it up. Yep.
Brought it.
It's
It's been broughtened.
It's been broadened. All right, next up, Cosmic Rewind. Chris.
Why do I always have to go first?
I can go first. I don't mind.
Yeah, you go first.
Shit. I'm gonna assume a Disney ride on this one.
Chris.
Oh, fuck it. Star Trek episode.
It's a Disney ride.
I'm already losing this. I might as well try to catch up by
Not
saying
doing
the other
great.
thing if I don't know.
God, and I don't know. My gut tells me that's also Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom, but there's a chance it could be Epcot as well.
Oh, it is Epcot.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
the other.
this is
That's at
the,
the bottom of the ball.
No, this is the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride. that
Oh, it's
replaced,
the
like,
new
the Ellen
Guardians
DeGeneres,
ones.
like,
Yeah.
Energy
Yeah, I know.
or whatever. Yeah, we got to go. Kelsey and I rode it while it was like around Christmas time. So they didn't play the normal like Guardians of the Galaxy movie instead, or music. Instead, they had I think it's from the Guardians Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Yeah, that's a good one.
like Run Rocket. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Very fun ride. Probably one of my favorites there now. All right, next one. Stanford. Endgame.
Well, see, that's actually an Avengers movie. Endgame is a Star Trek episode.
Yeah, Star Trek
Christopher.
episode.
Yep. What series is it from? Stanford?
It is Voyager. I believe it's the very last episode of Voyager.
Christopher?
Yeah, Voyager? Yeah, I want to say Voyager.
Yeah, it is. It's the season finale. Both of you get bonus points. All right,
I got you, Chris.
last
You
one.
just follow my lead.
Stanford. Mission Space.
These are dumb fucking names.
I was wondering, like, is this a trick question where it's both? I think this one is a Disney ride as well.
I was going to say
Chris.
Disney, right?
It's a Disney ride. What park's it at?
This one's got to be Epcot.
Chris?
Sure, Epcot. Yeah, definitely.
All right, you both get bonus points.
I think, okay, so
Yeah.
Mission Earth is what I was thinking. That's the one that's in the bottom of the ball where Starship Earth, or Mission, was it Mission Space is
No.
in the bottom of the ball and Starship Earth is in the top.
No, Mission Space is further toward where like the country expo is from the entrance. That's the one where you're in like a centrifuge and there are
I thought
two
it was
different levels you can go on. There's like the speed that the ride was originally designed for, and then the one that's made for little scary babies.
little
and it's
scary
not fun.
babies.
Little scary babies.
There's
Jesus.
terrifying little infants in there that are
Is that-
waddling
no,
about, and
it's-
you're pinned to the wall because of the centrifuge, and these babies are coming out at
It's
you.
those things in like that one game we played, like the forest or whatever, where they're like crawling into caves and shit. They jump at you.
I thought it was the one where you're all like doing random shit on the spaceship down at the bottom of the ball in the like back room of the. Liam loved the shit out. There was like a
No,
bunch of little
that's like,
arcade adjacent games.
Yeah, that's what they have underneath the ball. It's just a bunch of little like fun arcade and VR.
That's
games
not
that you
Mission
can play.
Space. That must be
That
called
is
something
not.
else. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Mission Space is the one where like you're supposed to be on
With the scary
a,
babies. Yeah.
Yeah. You're on like a rocket from Earth to Mars
To space.
and then
Oh.
back again.
Wouldn't that be Mission
Yeah.
Mars then?
Nope. Sorry.
We need to
How'd
come
they
up
do,
with better
Mariah?
names for these rides. They all
That was
suck.
it.
That's it.
We got no more for Chris.
No more.
I was always
Chris
going to lose
got-
this game.
10 points.
That's better than I thought it was going to do.
And
Better than I thought I was going to do.
16 points.
All right. Congratulations, Matthew.
I don't like being called Matthew. That's ew. Ugh.
Congratulations, Stanford.
I'm giving you my most sarcastic clap.
As my prize, I would like to go back to the deep dive and file a few more objections.
Denied.
Oh my
All right. So thank you for joining us for another week of Captain's Log Supplemental. As Chris mentioned at the top of the pod, we're still relatively new, still getting through this first series of Star Trek. So if you can, please like, subscribe, tell your friends and family. Leave Stanford nasty comments about how he needs to stop telling other people what to do in their segments. And we'll catch you on
I'm just saying that our rules need to be outlined ahead of time.
Your opinion's poop.
Have a nice week, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.